Right, today we're going to do data proportion, which is Lab 4. So first, we're going to choose a data source file, a Tableau data source file. So we're going to start off with connect to a file, and we're going to choose more this time. Select more, and we're going to look for Lab 4. Let me just check. Lab 4. And you can select this sample superstore, okay, the one with the sample. Open. Okay, after that we're going to move on to creating a bar chart. Right, so again you just have to rename a task. So we're going to move on to Tableau. Right, so you're going to drag a few things. Okay, just make sure your data source is superstore. So we're going to drag order date. Let's look for order date to the column. Right, and the sum of the sales, basically the sales here, and you got the line chart over there. After selecting, you can change the graph type to bar. Just change to barcode. Yeah, right at the top. Right, so there you have a bar chart. Once you got a bar chart, you can hover across, and you'll see the total sales is this. Right, so it's moving on. Right, and we can try to change the color. So by changing the ship mode, I think there's a shipping mode. So there's a shipping mode. We move it to the color. You have this color combination that show you the regular air, expressway, and all this. Okay, so moving on, we can drag the region to the row. We'll move on to dragging the region to the row. This is dragging to the row. So you get another form. Right, and you can choose entire view, and you can see the sales by the region. Cool, right? Then now you can even drag the region to the filter so that you can filter by the region, and you can check off the west and leave only west. So maybe you're interested in seeing the west. So now you got only one, okay, that you can see. Right, so obviously you can also show filter, and you can see the filter over here. Right, so now we're going to create a group bar chart. We can go ahead and create another task 2, right, and name it as task 2. Right, we're going to create a calculated field. So we're going to try to create a calculated field. Let's just find, sorry, let me just calculated field. Okay, starting off with the analysis. I'm going to create a calculated field. Right, I'm going to name this as position. Okay, and going into the formula, let me just copy the files. Okay, so you're supposed to type in this formula. So go ahead and type in this formula. So case reason, if it's a central, then give it the number 2 and so on, and click OK. Right, so you have got a position that has been derived. So you can see an equal. So moving on, okay, drag the product category. Drag the product category, product. Okay, the product. Okay, and expand. I think that's an expand. So you can expand category to column, right? And then click position. Okay, the positions that we have created, right? Convert to dimension first, so that you can put it as a dimension over here, right? And create the dimension to also continuous number, right? So we have that. After that, we shift the position to the column shelf as well, right? And then we drag the sales into the row. Okay, once we drag the sales to the row, on the mark chart, you can use the drop down and we can change this to a bar chart. Okay, let's see whether bar chart. There you have got a very nice bar chart. Drag region to the color. So now we'll add some color based on the region. So region, add to the color. So you got very nice color in the mark chart, right? You can also click on the size, I think, okay, and you can move to the increase the size of the bar chart, so you can see the bar chart. Okay, and then you can right click on the axis and edit the axis. Then you got this range. You can choose a fix, and then you can choose this to 1, and this is the maximum 4.5. So 5, right, and go ahead and click OK to it. Right, I couldn't find my OK. Okay, never mind. Just move on. Right, you're supposed to click and OK. Right, or else you can just try to fit into a standard view. Right, so moving on to adding stack bar chart. Right, so now you can open another task tree. Let's just rename this again. So you can go ahead and rename the task tree. And you can choose the product department, catalog, and the region to the column. Right, so put it here. And you can put the what region to the column, region to the column also. And sales shows to the row. Right, and drag region. You want to use region to color. Okay, region to color. Then you have a nice set. Region to color, sales to row, and sales you want to label it. So if you want to label, then you drag your sales to the label. So the sales label comes up. Right, then under the show me, here don't have, you can actually press Control Plus, and that will show me the show me, and you can choose a stack bar chart and drag. Now you can drag the sales to the label again. Then you have got the sales label, right? And display sales in here. So you can change. Okay? If you don't like, you can actually change the orientations of the label by clicking the label, and you can choose horizontal, vertical, up to you. You can choose center. We'll just choose, or you want to choose this way, then you will go this way, right? So up to you. And what else? Select the appropriate direction. Okay. Okay. So then you can also add reference line. So right click on the y-axis and add select add reference line. Yeah, here. So you'll see reference line coming up soon. So here you can choose line. Right? So you got some lines, and you can choose per cell. And then you can choose a label. In the label list, you can choose a value. So the value will come up. And formatting. Formatting, you can choose line, or you can choose blank. You don't want the line, and you can click OK. Right? So that's a reference line. Okay, so department. Moving on to align the total. Okay, so you can right click on any of the total. Any totals of the bar, right click, select format. Okay, so after selecting the format, reference line, you can change it to red color if you want to. So now you get the red color, right? You get the red color over here. And reference line label. Reference line label, you can align to the center. So it can align to the center. Under the horizontal, you can choose the center, and total is now in center. So that's where you can do your some formatting, and you can move on. Okay, so let's moving on. And so now in task 4, we're going to find the top end within a category. So how do we do that? So open another new worksheet, right? And you can rename this as task 4. Then drag the region. Now I'm going to drag the region, and product into region to the row. Yeah, row. And then the product category over here to the row, and drag the sales this time to the column, right? So there you have. You can also try to fit in everything. A bit messy. Right, so after that you can also do sorting, so that will help you to do sort. Right, that's nice little sorting. Analyze, so now you're going to add in another analysis, and maybe you can switch back to just fit the height. Oh, sorry, the standard. Let's just now go to analysis and create calculated field. Okay, and name this as ranking. Okay, so under here you can just put index. Right after you choose that, you notice there's a default table calculation. Click on this default calculation and computing. You just choose category, right, and OK. Right. Moving on, you get the ranking field to convert to discrete. So you just click OK, and under ranking field in the column shell, right? Oh, sorry, ranking field. Right click on okay, right click and convert to discrete. Convert to discrete. Place the ranking field into the row shell in between. So put it in here. Then you have got ranking field. Then you drag the ranking to the detail marks. Ranking to the details. Then you have the ranking details. Right click and select continuous. Right click on the and choose continuous. Right, and you can move the ranking to continue, move the field to the filter itself. Drag the ranking to okay, and move the field to the filter itself. Let's try. Okay, then you have got this, and put in number 5. Okay, and click OK. Right, so you have got this everything ranked by 5. Right, so you can see entire 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. Okay, so you can actually hide this by sorry, let me see. Okay, go to this and you can hide your header so that you have so it's easier. Now we're going to add multiple labels to a pie chart. So now we're going to do another task. Okay, so again, you can rename the task. Hold control down for department, sales, department, sales, department. Okay, and hold to your control and move on to sales. Let's look for sales. Click on the sales and then select the pie option. Just see whether pie option, does it come up? Oh, okay. You're supposed to hold this and this, right? And show the pie options in the show using the show me. Sorry, using the show me. Okay, so that's a pie option that you have. Right, and drag the department label field, department, and put it into the label, right? Then you have got the label coming up. And now we're going to calculate field name gross. So here, analysis, and calculate field, and change this to gross margin percentage. Right. And go to the formula text and type well, we can go and copy. Let me just copy something. Okay, just do the easy way, copy. sum, and OK. There you have the derived gross margin. We still have to create another calculated field. So go create calculated field and type name. I'm going to type this to order count and profit in percentage, right? So now we're going to click here, and again we're going to add in the text. So let me just try to find this. Right, so you have to go and type in all this. So when you insert what you want, okay. So now you have another derived. Right, so drag the order to the label. Okay, so that you have got the extra percentage that's been computed. You see, you can fit the entire view. There you have nice fitting. Right, let's move on to the last task, which is actually the Pareto. Pareto. So now we're going to look at task 6. Right, so again, under the product group, okay, you can drag the category into the column, right, and you can drag the sales to the row in the column shell, right. You can select the column cell. You can select the sort, right, and under the sort, right, you can sort by field, right, and you can choose descending order, and you can leave as sales as it is, and aggregation, leave the sum, and close. So you can see that it's been sorted nicely. Now we're going to choose row cell. On the row cell, there's a sum of this, and we're going to add a new calculation. So use this, add table calculations. Right, so the calculation type is running total. I'm going to take a look at the running total, compute list, select dimension, specific dimension, and it's the catalog category. And under this, so we're going to add secondary calculations. So under the secondary types, you're going to add percentage total, right? And you're going to compute the list using percentage. Compute using specific dimension, again category, and voila. So we got this special tabulation calculation. Compare the running percentage with the actual sales. So now we want to drag, right? Okay, to compare against the sales. So we want to drag the sales, okay, all the way to the left. Okay, let me just try to move this thing up. Okay, so you want to drag the sales all the way until you see the line comes up. Okay, let me try again. Right, there you have. Right, so now you got two dimensions. You can click on all, right, and change to all bar chart right? So they're all bar charts, and since the colors are different, okay, the colors are different, so you can actually choose a color, edit color. So one is red and one is blue, right? So you can choose the blue and apply. Then you have that same, almost the same graph, but different chart. Right, let me see whether I can fit the entire view. Now it looks better. Looks better. Right, so another thing that you can do is you can do a swap. Right, so you can click on this and click on this whole using a control, and you can do a swap. Right, so you'll see these two axes swap. See, it's swapped. These two axes swapped. And then now we're going to try last thing, which is actually the drag the instance of a measure name. Okay, so you got the measure names somewhere, the names of the measure names, right? Drag it to size. Okay, so you got the size, and then one of them will change to the size. You can change the size again. Right, so that more or less finish Lab 4 exercise. Thank you very much.